I want to start, Ramsin, with you. You really sort of took us through time and reminded us of that nuclear family and those great black and white images. But now we're in a different space. We have different family structures. And how is it for you when you bring on a client to sort of explain to them how many options they have now?
There's really no standard in the process anymore. And I think if you standardize a process, you're doing an injustice to clients. I use this statement all the time as a designer. Our job is to render a space for its ultimate purpose. Without understanding what the purpose is, you can't create the perfect space. You can create a kitchen, you can make it look beautiful. If it doesn't function well, people get over the beauty. I make a funny joke all the time and people laugh, but it's not funny, it's real. You can have a boyfriend that's the greatest looking guy in the world and everybody will be proud of you for being with him, but if his personality is terrible, everybody will say, boy, your boyfriend's so handsome. And you'll go, yeah, but he's not a nice guy. Same as a kitchen or any space that you create. Making it beautiful is easy. Making it function well and enhance your life, that's the challenge, and that's what's important. So you really have to understand your client by taking that time and understanding who they are as a family, as an individual, how they live, and how lifestyle today relates to how they live. Then you can start to design a space that really functions for them.
Mm-hmm. And now you all touched on technology a little bit. And David, over to you, sort of borrowing that quote from you, Jason, from Batman, it's not what's underneath, but it's your actions that define you. So when we look at security and technology, folks are a little hesitant. What kind of action is Kohler taking to sort of put them at ease about new tech?
Yeah. Well, it's our most important priority when we think about the connected home and how privacy matters in the most intimate environment you have. We have to make sure that we can 100% guarantee security. So first of all, we're taking precautions in how we're designing products to make sure we put stops inside the products. But then we're also putting up our own cloud with significant cybersecurity to make sure that we can provide a safe cyber experience as well. But it is one of the most important things we think about when we think about connecting to the home, because we shouldn't connect to the home unless we can provide value with that. And we're headed down a path where there'll be more and more health diagnostics and other value that we can bring to the home. But we have to guarantee that it's safe and secure. And so it's a big priority. And we've had to increase our cybersecurity apparatus around this strategy to make sure we can do it globally, not just here, but also in Asia and other markets.
Right. And of course, another luxury is time, that of time. And I think of innovation when I think of maybe saving time. So over to you, Erin. You sort of are on the forefront of what's new and what's coming up with technology. So how do you think that this luxury of time that we're really sensing more and more of as our worlds get busier, how will that be reflected in the home and the way we live?
I think there's two phases. With the rise of the AI assistants, you've got convenience without compromise. But then conversely, there is a big shift about kind of calibrating, taking stock and prioritizing time. So we see the home kind of becoming a multi-use space, a little bit more fluid. You're seeing a lot of people opt to work from home a couple days a week, work out at home. The home space is becoming a little bit more multifunctional.
I too really enjoyed Ryan Gosling's wardrobe in that film you were mentioning. I think it really struck a lot of people.
I need that wardrobe.
I know.
How do we all do that?
Well, we have to call this guy maybe. But that's sort of my question, Jason. I think we probably all can have a wardrobe like that, but maybe we're fearful of the amount of time it takes to get that started. But I'm curious, do we save time sort of on the other end if we put the initial investment in?
Yes, I believe it's really about figuring out what is the message that you're trying to convey and how it personally connects to you. And whatever is going to make you feel strong and confident, those are the kind of items you need to add. And I think whether you're working with a consultant or you're doing a deep dive by yourself, the greater you get to learn about yourself and understand what you're trying to convey, it's a lot of time up front, but it's so worth it because then all the purchases that you're making are reflecting who you are at that point and where you're wanting to go, as opposed to just amassing a bunch of items and not having a deep level of connection. So I think a lot of people initially when they start to accumulate some wealth, buy a lot of things, and then they don't use a lot. But as they start to progress in life, they start to look at less is more. And that Stoic approach as it's about depth versus breadth.
Time is the most valuable commodity we have.
Yeah.
And people have to understand that whatever we can do in our industry, whatever it may be, to make life easy for people, to save them time, that is of value to them. My dad always said it well, I want to live. I want to live, and I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy the wonderful things in life. That word wonderful has a different meaning to everybody, but we want to enjoy what we have to its fullest. We don't want to be victims to our spaces and everything around us. We want that to function for us and enhance our lives. That's what it's about.
Yeah, we think about that. We think about convenience. Convenience is the most powerful trend, I think, in our generation. You think about the internet and what it does to create convenience. You think about smart products that are personalized, intuitive, and artificial intelligence. It's all about how do you create convenience and ease. Uber Eats and all of it, it's all about convenience, to your point, because we do want to live, and we don't want to spend our time doing mundane tasks.
I agree. And you know, we were talking earlier and we're saying that, you know, the new generation, the millennials, embrace this whole concept of technology so easily.
Yeah.
The baby boomers want to embrace it. They'll embrace it in the levels that are comfortable for them. Some are fearful because they're not fully educated about it. And it is a vast world. And that's why I always, I have a standard that I only deal with solid companies. I'm not interested in offshore products, and I want to deal with companies who are there behind me, back me all the way for years down the line, because every project we do is a liability for me. So I want to make sure that I have partners that are going to be there 10 years from now, that are not going to give me a headache, and we can then deliver that service. You know, someone like my mom uses Alexa simply for spelling checks. Alexa, how do you spell this? And that's all she knows to do, and that's all she wants. And God bless her, that's fantastic.
Never thought of it.
Right? So, because she texts and she wants to, you know, make sure that they look good, the texts, and they don't come off with bad spelling. We have a client, like I said, that just had a hard time embracing the idea of technology in his house, but now he's embracing it because he realizes that good companies take that matter very seriously and they protect the consumer.
The irony, of course, is that technology can probably help baby boomers maybe more so than millennials, because you talk a lot about, or we chatted a little bit about, baby boomers really wanting to stay in the homes that they raise their children in, and how technology can help them with that.
Baby boomers have gone through a range of time where they were maybe had everything, didn't really understand what life is about, but they're at a stage in life where they understand what life is about. They finally get it. We finally get it. We know what our lives are meant to be, what we want in our homes, and now that we finally got it, last thing we want to do is move on from that. We want to enjoy it now to the fullest with what time we have left. The millennials are a little more flighty, I'm sorry, but you know, we can just pick up and go where we want and live the way we want, and if I want this, I'll be able to buy it because I can find a way to make money. That's the new generation, you know.
And we are running out of time so quickly, but Erin, what I loved also from your presentation is that going into your bathroom isn't about something that you need to do, but a feeling. And that's sort of the first time I've heard it described that way. Can you give us a little hint of what that could mean in terms of a real practical element to the bathroom?
Yeah, I think we get the luxury to think about the emotive state, how we want people to feel. I think something as intimate as the bathroom is actually probably your last place of sanctuary. So we do think about, like, what is someone trying to get out of there? Going through those empathetic
I think
studies
a lot of parents
like,
too see it that way.
yeah, that was kind of pun not intended. But it might be the only place that you can be alone, that you can have a second to think to yourself. And if you have small kids, you know that's completely the case if you have a lock. But it is truly about, like, what kind of experiences do you want? And we view the bathroom as being the hub of well-being, because it's going to evolve past just a simple utilitarian space. It's becoming like the kitchen became a couple decades ago, where it opened up into the living space and it became the epicenter of entertaining, and it set the tone for your home decor because it was right there. It was your biggest investment.
It's the hub of the house, yeah.
I think the bathroom is actually doing it. You're going to blur the boundaries between that and your bedroom. It can be your wellness center. It could be your meditation spot. advocating for like really indulging in that space that could be the only space you can truly have alone time.
It's your space of I just need a time to myself. I just need a moment to myself. You know, when you've had enough, when you just had enough, and whether it's because of the kids or whatever, I just need a moment to myself. And you know, the bathroom is a space where you can have that wonderful shower and the steam bath and have that vanity that it has the technology that you want and the interaction. It can be so much. Designing a bathroom is very complicated. There's so many elements have to come together.
It's where you start your day, it's where you end your day.
Yeah.
You two seem very excited about that. Yes. And again, everyone's going to be available to chat with in lobby. David and I are going to get style tips from Jason.
Yeah, 100%.
That's right, that's happening. And that sort of wraps up the formal portion of this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to our speakers, Erin, Lilly, Ramsin Khachi, David Kohler, Jason Sarai. I'm Bianca Solterbeck. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much.